I take a step back and it's just like, I didn't know. Like, it's, he's so disgusting. I'm so ashamed of him and everything, and I just, oh, those little girls, they're so little. They're so little.
It's hard.
But it's just so sad, and she's pregnant.
And, you know, on our end, we didn't...
And they're so cute. They're so little. Like, why? Why? How? I don't even understand how you could, like, bring yourself to do that to somebody who's, like, that big.
All right, so Nicole Kessinger sighting 2025. I can't. Nicole Kessinger 2025. What do you guys think? Watch again. So this was her friend's mother passed away. And this was at a funeral. So it was actually one of her best friends. But here. Isn't that wild? We knew she'd surface sooner or later. All right, so this is from the Daily Mail from April the 2nd, 2025. Killer dad Chris Watts blamed his mistress for his family's murders in dozens of bizarre letters he wrote to God from prison. The 39-year-old killed his pregnant wife, Shanann, and their two young daughters, 4-year-old Bella and 3-year-old Celeste, at their Colorado home in August 2018, which sold, by the way. It sold just in the last few months. Now the Daily Mail has read dozens of never-before-seen letters that the oil field worker who is serving 5 life sentences wrote from prison. In the rambling notes, which are filled with biblical references, he blames a string of strange women for the murders, including his wife and his former lover, Kessinger. In a letter addressed to God in 2021, he wrote of Kessinger, quote, "I was misled. I was tempted by a harlot. I was weak, and I allowed myself to be fooled by an evil woman. She led me from the path of righteousness. I know that you will deal with her someday. She will be judged. You know my heart, Lord. I am a man after your heart. I seek your face. I allowed her to sway me." In another letter addressed the following year, he writes, "The lips of an immoral woman may be smooth, but no amount of paint on her face can disguise her evil heart." In a separate letter, he wrote that Shanann was, quote, "domineering and, quote, self-absorbed," and hinted that she had contributed to her own death. In other letters, he rambles about unnamed, strange women whom he describes as harlots, Jezebels, and whores. The Daily Mail has learned he also wrote to several women, often speaking romantically with them and insisting that he's not the monster people think he is. Quote, I was a good husband and father, he wrote to a woman named Callie. Things happened, and I am no longer a good husband and father, but I am still a good man, end quote. In another letter received by the Daily Mail, Watts reflects on the loss of his two daughters, who he smothered to death and then hid their bodies in an oil field where he worked. Quote, the blessings of this life I have taken for granted. Those blessings grew up as a green olive tree in my house, with sparkle in their eye and a smile that would shine the darkest room. Their energy would last for days on end, sometimes their questions too. They even pick out a book about a train just to hear me say, choo-choo. Their kisses I thought would last forever. Hugs that would melt my heart. Not in a million years did I think we would be apart. Watts' prison confidant, Dylan Tallman, wrote a series of 3 books about their relationship, which we read one of them cover to cover live. The books, which are now out of print, they're out of print already. The books, which are now out of print, allege that Watts felt enticed by Kessinger. Quote, I was having an affair with this girl, and I ended up in love with 2 women at the same time. Watts allegedly told Tallman, it's what led up to what happened. She is of evil spirits like Jezebel. On August 13th, 2018, Chris Watts strangled his wife Shanann in their Colorado home. He then drove her body to a job site at the oil company where he worked. He disposed of his wife's body and then smothered daughters Bella and Celeste while they begged for their lives. After pleading guilty to the murders, he received 5 life sentences. He is incarcerated at Dodge Correctional in Wisconsin.